Greetings, well-beings. I'm Dr. Khan, back with the last and final episode review of the Pitt, the HBO Max series shows, the most realistic medical drama. It's been super fun to watch and share with you guys. I've learned so much just by explaining things to you guys in certain ways. Your comments have been amazingly supportive. Like and subscribe. Share this video with some friends or family who really don't know anything about the medical industry so they can have an insider's view on what happens on that side of the curtain. Let's get into it.
We repeatedly tried to explain the importance and low risk of the spinal tap.
Hopefully they'll come around.
This is exactly like the other cases in this season where the alcoholic was a frequent flyer coming in and out of the emergency room. He knew he shouldn't have been drinking. He told Dr. Robbie, "You can't make me not drink." And Dr. Robbie was like, "Well, I don't have to hand you the thing that's going to hurt you also," which was like boundary setting on boundary setting, which was awesome because we need a lot more of that. You got to let go as a healthcare professional. You do have to detach a bit. Like, let's be honest, especially in the ER, especially in the hospital, detachment is part of the job. If you don't detach, you're kind of like soaking up the spongy crap and you're just going to sap around all day. So you got to be a little bit letting go instead of holding tight.
Thing in here?
No improvement in the patient or his family?
He already looks better.
He is not. And by refusing the spinal tap, we don't know how to help him. Mr. Edwards, may I speak with you outside, please?
Yes, if you don't want to accept the treatment without the test of the lumbar puncture, why did you bring him to the hospital?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's like cherry picking your treatment plan and really not respecting the doctor's autonomy in their medical profession.
What the hell is this? These are the people from the Pitt Fest shooting that we couldn't save today.
Wow.
We can still save your son.
Oh, you actually brought the dad to the room full of dead people? That was insane. That's probably illegal.
You're not going to jail. You're going to prison.
But, you know, it is a mass shooting and he did kind of have a little bit of a mental breakdown earlier, but also the dad needed to see where his son is going to end up if he doesn't take it seriously.
His pelvic fracture.
Taking any medications? Any drug allergies?
Am I going to be okay?
Absolutely.
We got you, Hector.
I just like that he said, "We got you." I think being positive as a healthcare hero is super helpful. Even if you don't know the outcome, be positive, have good energy, even if it's like really crappy situation, just because energy is real and people do feel the vibes. And the patient, you know, it's just a really good moment that he was just like, "We got you."
Hector, you crushed all the bones in your pelvis and you've got some internal bleeding. We need to sedate you to treat you. When you wake up, you're not going to be able to talk. You're going to have a breathing tube in your throat.
I like that he's talking to the patient, of course, and giving the play-by-play. Like, how important is it that when you're communicating something brand new to someone, you got to tell them one thing at a time and then kind of over and over and slowly. So you crushed all the bones in your pelvis. We're going to put a breathing tube. That communication is so key because you don't want the patients to freak out. Some patients do resist the treatment. Try to pull out the breathing tubes, try to pull out their urinary catheters. As much communication as possible is amazing.
Looks like two old white guys poached our patient.
I love that they're talking shit. That's important in a hospital setting, to be rambunctious and funny. Two white guys poached our patient because they want to do more things. And so the cooler cases, it does matter.
We've got an unstable pelvic ring fracture systolic of 68.
It's like the voice of God just came in. Dr. Walsh is like, "Hey guys, what's up?" She's the surgeon, right? So she needs to know if she needs to come down, do surgery. So they're about to go through what they think.
Stable for CT angiogram?
Not at the moment, no.
He needs interventional radiology to embolize the bleeders.
They don't like unstable patients.
They will tonight.
They do not.
Crying,
Interventional radiologists don't get enough like credit. Neurointerventional radiologists, when we say stable versus unstable, we are literally talking vital signs. We're not talking about anything else. The vital signs, if they're stable, that's a stable patient. If they're not stable, it's an unstable patient. Neuro IR and IR, stable only. Why interventional radiology is so cool is that they inject a dye wherever, like sometimes in the CSF fluid, sometimes in the vein, and over x-rays and over pictures, they can do an intervention. Like, let me give you a really good example. So a peptic ulcer that ruptures and bleeds causes a GI bleed, and that presents most likely in the ER with someone who's fainted.
Miss Rabbit has fainted.
Someone who's throwing up blood, or someone who's pooping like black. GI bleeds tend to be red. That's not always the case, but it's like questions in the history that we can get to figure out where this bleeding's coming from. And you would think that doing an endoscopy or colonoscopy could help. However, if there's active bleeding, you won't be able to see anything on those camera scopes. So what they first do is an NG lavage, and they stick a tube down the nose, down to the stomach, and lavage it out, which means this tube goes down the stomach, and the other side of the tube is connected to a tube of water, basically, and sterile water, and it's warm, and you lavage and see if blood comes out, because a positive NG lavage means that it is an upper GI bleed, because that tube only goes down to the junction of the esophagus and the stomach.
Feeling that's gonna stick with me for a while.
I mean, about me.
Went home early, but you came back, so cutting you some slack this time.
Why? Why'd I go home?
Dana, we don't like that word.
He said I didn't want to know, so I didn't ask. You in trouble, kid?
Robbie
He's
believes
fishing.
something that's not entirely true. I need you to have my back on this.
Look, I love you, kid.
It's like he's fishing and snooping, and she's Mama Bear and he's Papa Bear. Remember, he stole all the narcotics, maybe it was the Librium, to treat his own addiction.
But this sounds like it's between you and Robbie and above my pay grade.
So he's not getting any worse?
Not at the moment.
Our family physician is making arrangements to move him to West Penn.
Hospital transfers are so interesting and something that people don't really talk about or learn about. Even as a hospitalist, I don't know exactly how it works. You think that the doctor has like the right and the say to initiate these transfers, and they do if an HLOC, higher level of care, is required. For example, that little community hospital doesn't have. This family is requesting a transfer to another hospital because they don't trust whatever's happening here, I suppose. Families can initiate transfers. Insurance can block the transfer, or insurance can be the one requesting the transfer to.
These little kids' parents are trying to move him to West Penn.
Let him.
It's just like when you hear a nurse pages you and she goes like, or he goes like, hey doc, this patient's trying to leave against medical advice. You're kind of just like, okay, let them.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care.
It's like kind of a little bit like absolving responsibility, when responsibility is in the hands of the person who's more conscious about that topic and that subject. So it kind of doesn't really work to be like, hands clean, let them. But it does kind of work, because like if they want to leave, they want to leave.
Funny thing, David.
Yeah, get me out of here.
I mean, I can't do that.
They caught the guy that did this. He's dead. We're still locked up.
Do you know what it's like to be afraid? I mean, really, truly frightened for your own physical safety.
Pretty sure I got a taste of that tonight.
So imagine if you felt that way every day from half the people that you meet.
It's
Because
so
that's
true.
every woman's life. And it's a form of violence against women.
Absolutely.
How would you
There
feel
you
if
go.
your mom
Okay.
was on somebody's eliminate list?
Basically, this kid that's a tough conversation. I don't know if he's too young or he doesn't realize that his feelings of hatred or negativity are that strong, but those are definitely red flags. There's a significant amount of inequality between men and women, despite the modern country that we live in. There's still disparity, and it goes beyond this generation. It's centuries old. Basically, she's sticking up for women all over, and he doesn't know better. He has got to accept some responsibility.
Let you come back. You came back on your own, and I let you stay. Figured it was one time. Throwing my career away was for a greater good.
I was just treating my own withdrawal symptoms. I could have my hospital privileges denied whenever I...
When he started, he was like, you let me come back. Is he negotiating with Dr. Robbie and like telling him that he already forgave him and that he let him come back? Because that's kind of ballsy, to talk to somebody who you wronged or caught you cheating and lying and stealing. Now you're like, thanks for letting me come back. Chris Voss would approve, the FBI negotiation tactic guy.
Denied whenever I apply for a job.
No, that's not true anymore. You could have come to me. Instead, you could be arrested on felony charges for stealing controlled substances from the hospital.
You never heard of second chances.
You need help.
What about you, man?
What's that supposed to mean?
I never had a complete meltdown.
No, you just cause them in other people. Ho, you are so full of shit. You let everybody down.
That's crazy. And I just feel like there's a little bit of, I hate using this word, but gaslighting here by the resident who is just like, you're blaming me for what happened to you? Like, what happened to Dr. Robbie? Unless something did happen previously that we don't know about, but don't come at him. He is actually on your side.
This job will fuck you up if you let it. You let it.
I wasn't the one talking to cartoon animals and peds.
Fuck you!
No way he didn't just say that. Wow. He just basically tried to say that Dr. Robbie was having a psycho meltdown and talking to cartoon animals, when like you and I and Whitaker all know that he was praying in Hebrew. He was overwhelmed with emotion and he was doing the thing that when you grow up as kids, what we do, we pray the way we pray when we're kids. We feel better, like whatever way we grew up. So he was doing that, and I can't believe he tried to say that he was talking to cartoon animals. That's ridiculous.
Alice, where do you need me?
Back here at 7 a.m. to relieve the night shift.
I can work a double.
Samara, you are a great doctor, but you need to know when to turn it off. Go home.
I remember when I used to do the night shift, I would feel so energized in the morning. I know, like I didn't sleep all night, and I had like 8 to 10 admissions as a resident and called all these consultants. Got yelled at for waking a lot of them up, but didn't want to sign it out to my residents. She's on an adrenaline high, basically. She's a little bit of a junkie from the rush.
Deluxe down to 64 to 38. He's tacking to 132.
Checking for delayed intra-abdominal bleed.
I thought you said he was stable.
He was after 3 units.
Pressure got up to 118 systolic after the full MTP.
He gave him too much blood and raised his pressure so high that it blew apart the developing clots that was stopping him from bleeding out.
Okay, interesting topic.
MTP is 6 units red cells, 6 FFP, 6 platelets.
Treat the patient, not the protocol. Systolic of 90 is ideal. Robbie, you could teach your residents about permissive hypotension?
Let's talk about permissive hypertension and permissive hypotension. I'm going to talk about the one I'm familiar with more, which is permissive hypertension. If you lower the blood pressure too quickly with the cerebrovascular accident, you could cause worsening of the stroke. A systolic blood pressure of 190 could be okay right after an acute stroke. So that is permissive hypertension. Now let's talk about permissive hypotension. Permissive hypotension is when we allow the blood pressure to intentionally be lower than it is because we don't want to increase the pressure and dissolve the clots. This is only in people with trauma or hemorrhage, basically, because while we're bleeding in trauma or hemorrhage, our body's actually making clots to stop the hemorrhage. So it's a good thing that it's making clots. So if you treat low blood pressure too fast, the pressure can go so high that it bursts the clots and then they bleed again, which is exactly what's happening here. There are protocols and there are truths, but they're all nuanced and require a heavy set of experienced eyes and hands.
I had a good friend who went through some really ugly stuff with me. Someone older was taking advantage of our age. And things got so bad that my friend took her own life. There isn't a day that I don't regret not being able to stop my friend. But there also isn't a day that I'm not grateful I didn't do the same.
Okay, Dad, we're in.
Well, that's kind of sweet. She's showing her softer side and sharing a little bit of her with the patient, which, like I said, it's nice to share a little of yourself with the patient, only if it's creating empathy and connection. And a lot of the time it's not welcome. Like I was talking to a therapist actually earlier today, and she was like, most of my patients don't ask me anything about me. So it's not that relationship where now you want to hear about like your doctor's lives or your therapist's lives. But there are soft moments where you can lean into the humanness of who you are, and that does create connection. Originally, I was like a bit robotic and awkward, and now I like softened into who I am and who I can be in front of a patient. If you want something from somebody else, like vulnerability or love or trust, you gotta give it.
It's gonna take a minute to collect, but the fluid looks clear. It's a good sign. The lab still needs to run some tests, look under the microscope to rule out some bad stuff.
Oh, great. They decided to do the LP. Wonderful. And that's exactly the color of the CSF. It's clear, white like water. It's actually a really fun procedure to do. I did them in residency.
What are you doing?
You said she didn't want to be in the room.
Oh my gosh.
Stop what you're doing right now.
No, they're almost done.
Take that needle out of his back.
No.
The dad played the mom. And I wonder if it was because Robbie took him to the morgue.
Take it out right now.
Yep.
How could she take out the needle right now? Come on, Mom.
Out. All done.
My son.
Very cool. Super sterile. Blue gloves in a hospital are non-sterile, but those white ones that you saw her wearing are sterile gloves because that is a sterile procedure.
He's leaving this hospital.
She really is a good mom.
Dr. Robbie, I
And
think you
Dr.
need to
Shen,
look at
I'm
this
done.
kid. You're gonna want to see this, trust me.
I got this.
What am I looking friendly at? Face right
14-year-old girl playing with her older brother takes a fall as her older brother chases her up the stairs after she stole a forkful of his takeout.
This is Dr. Shen written all over it. Don't worry, we're bringing in our utensils specialist.
We're gonna start you out with some nasal numbing spray for the pain.
This is crazy. I'm glad that she brought the other guy to look at it too, because the fork in the nose, it's basically in the cartilage of the nose. The ear has cartilage, the nose is cartilage. It's pretty soft and friable, pretty, soft. So that could easily happen. I mean, I don't know if it could easily happen, but it happened and it's in the cartilage part of the nose.
Do you mind if I take a photo for the medical
record.
Oh my gosh. That does happen. We have photos of people's like wounds in the charts.
We saw 112 mass casualty patients, and 106 of them are going to live. None of us are going to forget today. So go home, let yourselves cry. You'll feel better. It's just grief leaving the body.
That is so smart. Crying is just grief leaving the body. Really, taking a deep breath is my favorite tool for relaxing, and just like we could do it right now. Like take a deep breath in and let it go. We could do another one together, but my editor will probably cut it out. So do it on your own.
Nice moves, right?
What the hell are you doing up here?
What the hell are you doing up here?
1 second. I will,
I'm getting Grey's Anatomy
Occasion.
vibes from this part.
after a long shift, crash here.
This was your first day here.
My first day of emergency rotation.
Hilarious.
Do you actually have a...
Yeah, he did the emergency rotation, but he also did the internal medicine one.
I'm currently between places.
Well, that wraps up the final episode of season 1, The Pitt. This show was incredibly fun to watch and super fun to both learn from and tell you about, because I got to learn it better so that I could explain things in a way that you would understand. This was such an enjoyable time doing this. We're back for season 2 in January, and might go dark for a little bit because the Pitt videos have just been doing so well. But if you want me to react to anything else, or you have any comments or questions, any other videos that I could make just for you, I'm here to make content just for you. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and share some of your favorite episodes with your friends. I'd love to read your comments and engage with you to learn more. As always, own your health, own your future.